If you've watched any of our recent videos, you'll know that most of our progression videos are pretty much focused on Pat's POV. And that's for a good reason, as he's already at max Skyblock level, and showing that off to you guys is pretty cool. But something that's always missing from these videos is actual progression. Clips of satisfying Skyblock levels and just overall the main stuff that should be included in those videos. But they don't really exist as he never really bothered to clip any of that. Though today, we're hoping to do something different. As my profile sits, it is only level 445, and that's quite a bit away from the current max level of 463. Today, and what we hope to make into a series, is to document my grind all the way from today to max level. Though before we get into the video, I do quickly want to ask you guys to subscribe to our channel. We're trying to race the clock and get 30,000 subscribers just before 2025, and each sub really means a lot more than you'll ever know. Also, we'll be releasing our own custom texture pack at 25,000 subscribers if that's of any interest to you. One last thing is that if you ever want to see any of this progression live, whether it's Pat's or my own, we both actively stream over on our Twitch channels, which are both going to be linked in the description. We hope to see you there, and without wasting any more of your time, let's get into the video. Let's start by getting some bases cleared up. First, as I mentioned before, I'm sitting at just around level 445. In other words, I'm 18 levels away from max level, which though might not seem like a lot, these 18 levels are going to be the most challenging. This large amount of Skyblock XP is spread all throughout Skyblock through anywhere from crop milestones to bestiary and even some more engaging content like dungeons and Kudra. The point is that there's a lot of variety when it comes to what I have to do. Future videos will be focused more in depth on a topic, but today we'll be doing frankly a lot of variety due to the fact that there's some relatively easy Skyblock XP that's still around for me to collect in this game. First, we should talk about the Carnival. For those unaware, the Carnival is a Skyblock event that takes place in the hub every few weeks, assuming that Foxy, with the perk of Chivalrous Carnival, gets elected. There are 3 minigames in the Carnival, but the one here that we'll focus on is Zombie Shootout, as you can see me doing right now. This game is as simple as it gets, as you gain more points simply by shooting zombies. The higher rarity the zombies, the more points you get, and the more points you get, the more tokens you get. The main reason we're here is for the event's token shop. There are 4 categories of events you can buy perks in, which are the Fishing Festival, Mining Fiesta, Jerry's Workshop, and Spooky Festival. As a main profile, these perks don't mean too much to me, but what does is the Skyblock XP. From nothing, you can get just around 2 full levels from Carnival, or 200 XP, which is amazing and it puts a huge dent towards my goal. At the end of everything, I ended Carnival with 44 XP over level 447, and with my old level being 445, we're already making a ton of progress. Next, we should talk about the game's 2 biggest boss fights, Kudra and Dungeons. Or in more specific, M7. Doing these things knocks a lot off of my list for max Skyblock XP. First and foremost, Bestiary. It's a grind that takes hundreds of hours and has a place in nearly every aspect of combat in this game. It's one of the most rewarding things to do for XP though. I'm missing a ton from both Kudra and Dungeons, so though not my main focus when doing runs, it's definitely a reason to do them. Next up is Max Boss Collection. Now this doesn't apply to Dungeons as I already have all the Dungeon Boss collections completed, but for Kudra, I'm still hundreds of runs away before I max out the collection, as well as rewarding me with the legendary Kudra pet. That also gives me another 3 Skyblock XP. Finally, the most infamous grind in possibly all of Skyblock is Class Average 50. Part of max Skyblock XP is Class Average 50, which is a multi-100 hour grind bordering on 1,000 total hours that many avoid till their very last XP. I'm closing in on just around 800 runs left, which is about 100 hours, and I do need to tackle this over time. The best part of this is on top of these being pretty enjoyable, they also make some pretty good money, so here's just a few clips of my most recent gameplay.
You're walking around with no armor, Death Streaks.
Oh, what the f— I was there.
Oh
you!
my god.
Fuck you!
Oh,
No,
oh
fuck
my
you!
god.
No,
you.
fuck you!
Fuck you.
No
Fuck
Oh
you.
my god, I'm doing the most, bro. I'm going out of my way to kill so many
no
skeletons.
way.
Again, as I mentioned, Skyblock XP from these sources are scarce, but they are required to max the game, so though it looked like I didn't get too much, if any, it's more of a long-term investment. Something I mentioned before in the intro was the idea of miscellaneous Skyblock XP. Sources of Skyblock XP that are added randomly each update and players need to constantly be on top of. I'm missing a lot of this, but thankfully I'm able to knock a lot of these off easily. One example, as you can see right now, is with the most recent Mining Fiestas, I was able to finally knock out the Skyblock XP from the event. After 2 years, by the way. For those unaware, in the most recent mining update, this goal became super easy to complete in a reasonable fashion, so I decided to use that to my advantage and max this out in no time. Next is the museum. This update didn't add much, but I was able to redeem a free 10 Skyblock XP from a new item. Also, this most recent hoppity, I was able to get my final Abbey phone contact. Now not only is this 10 Skyblock XP, but this also allows me to get an uncommon rabbit that's specifically limited to the Abbey phone contact, which I actually did end up getting as of recording this video. Finally, we should talk a little bit more about bestiary. Firstly, again with this most recent update, they did decide to add a bat bestiary to the island section. This isn't hard to grind, but it did give me a free 5 XP, and it only took like 2 hours to max. Something about bestiary that does make it a little bit of a pain to max out is that it's time gated in a few sections. Although this isn't something like spooky mobs or jellyfishing, there are multiple examples of this, including in the mythological event. This most recent event, I took it upon myself to inch a little closer to the insane goal of 350 Inquisitors and 1000 Gaia construct kills that I'm still missing. And in short, let's say the next following clips are some proof that I'm just slightly RNG carried. And to conclude the episode, let's bring up a new source of Consumable XP, which all go by Dwarvenos. There are 4 variants of Dwarvenos that can be dropped from things like Dwarven Mine events, Crystal Nucleus runs, or in my case, Skathas. I'm still a decent bit away from maxing Worm Bestiary, and with these drops being somewhat common, I just decided to grind this out myself, so I'll let the clips speak for themselves. In one satisfying clip with buying some of the other Dwarvenos on the bazaar, I was able to just reach Skyblock level 450. Or, well, you're gonna have to believe me, because this game actually didn't decide to send me my level 450 message, and I was really excited to see it, but it didn't give it to me, and I was really upset about that. But anyways, I'm not gonna act like I'm upset about it, but I am actually very upset about it. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this, and you want to see the constant progression as I reach the goal of finishing the game, please make sure to subscribe. Again, we have set our sight on the YouTube rank, and every sub goes a long way. I found more enjoyment in the game recently, so there should be a lot more uploads coming your way. And also remember to follow us on Twitch, as I'll be streaming a lot of this progress. You might even be able to be in some of the videos. So make sure your sub is worth it. Anyway, goodbye.